Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Texas Motor Speedway for the fourth race of the 2021 NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series. Me and Vince are getting ready for 67 laps of action, and I hope you all enjoy your Easter break.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like Zach said, at Easter break. We're here at Texas, Zach. Last year was the finale. This year, race 4 of the season. We got some history could be made today with one of our people in the field. Oh, and also a different type of strategy we're going to see because this race is usually clean. More on that on the trends. Back to you.
Let's get to your starting lineup. Carter Friesen, fastest in practice. Carter Friesen, fastest in qualifying. Excuse me. Friesen will start on the pole for the first time in 2021, I believe, as he is currently 33rd in the point standings without a single top 5 or top 10 on the year. To his outside is Amanda Evans. Row 2, Deanna Jones and Donovan Cage, who won this race in 2019. That was his first career win back then. He's up to 5 now. Can he get 6 today? Row 3, Bradley Ream and Mitchell Collins with a surprising qualifying effort. Row 4, Patrick Smith and James Ellison. And in row 5, Audra Baranauskas and RJ Bishop. As we go through the rest of the starting lineup, Vince will go over our race notes and past race winners.
Yeah, let's start with those past winners. For Jerky Pro, we had 2017 Edwin Mendez, 2018 James Qualls, 2019 Donovan Cage, which the guy in the field starting 4th, could be making some history. And Keith Rich, last year he also won the championship, ironically, but we're not here for a championship scenario. And as I said, the strategy is a little different because last year was an 84-lap race. This year we're only doing 67. The pit window is 30 to 32. This should be a one-stop race, barring some major shenanigans at the end, but we'll see. Maybe a top-off. Tire fall, we've been kind of out of the woods on this one, but we're going to go with 2 or 3 seconds here to Texas, the new Texas. And we saw Ellison last year on pit road have some struggles. Can he make it clean? And can the whole field make it clean as we have that round of pit stops? Zach, that's it. Back to you. Let's see which lines prevail as the inside and outside tend to be a little bit interesting at the start as they mellow off. It's like a draft type race here at Texas, as we saw last year.
Yeah, the outside definitely gets a little bit of a run coming out of turn 2 around the entire track in the beginning, and then, turns 3 and 4 is all about being on the bottom. Let's go trackside for the command start engines. Command has been given. All the trucks will pull off a pit road and do their usual rubbing doors thing. So yeah, Vince, you talk about the strategy, right? And, the finale was an 84-lap event. And the pit window was lap 30 to lap 32. So you really got to wonder, are these guys going to try and stretch it that extra lap or 2 this year so that they can make it on a one-stop and they don't have to come in? As it looks like the 66 of Enzo Nereza has a problem. He had not qualified well to begin with, and this is going to hurt his race even more. Nereza comes into this thing relatively well in the points with a top 10, 16th in the standings for a rookie through 3 races, but he will likely plummet after this. So you see Nate Rogers, one of our Digital Storm Cup guys in the field. He is starting towards the rear. But we're getting ready to go. Green flag racing. Carter Friesen will lead him to the green. And green is out. 67 laps of action underway here at Texas. See there in turns 1 and 2, Vince Friesen able to keep it down on the gas pedal, but Amanda Evans gets the run on the top, makes the move to the inside for the race lead.
Yeah, top to bottom move from Amanda Evans. Remember the 77 truck with Fitzwater won last week. We're going to do a Texas 2-step as Amanda Evans leads lap 1.
That would be 2 weeks ago because of Easter break. As Nereza comes back onto the racetrack, issue resolved from the looks of things, but he will be a lap down.
Yep, 2 weeks ago, better. Last race. Let's see though. Early on, Deanna Jones. That we talked about her in the preseason predictions, trying to make a statement as we go 3 wide here. What can she do as a quote unquote rookie?
How about Bradley Ream in that 11 truck? Qualified well here today. He's looking for what would be his first career Jerky Pro Truck Series win. So he'll go to the inside of Deanna Jones for second. Patrick Smith also trying to move his way to the front. As Baranowskis is driving the truck Keith Rich drove to a win in a championship here last fall. You know, Baranowskis and Max Anderson, Vince, excuse me, were those two drivers who were on that extra stop strategy at Miller Motorsports Park, and it cost them a top 10, top 5 run because of it. Anderson still the points leader by 11 points over Gatlin Downey coming into this race. Baranowskis 6 in the points, 29 back. As remember, Jerky Pro is on the full season championship this year. Every point matters for the whole season. There is no playoff down here.
Top 10s, top 5s. We talked about that at Daytona, and still don't want to talk about that till we get to the end of Chicago. It's really about consistency and not making blunder pit calls or blunder pit road mistakes. Pit road has been pretty much the story of this 2021 season in both series.
Bradley Ream continuing to make a move on Deanna Jones for second. Ream comes into this race 28th in the points. He has not finished in the top 10 yet this season. So we see Jonathan Wong, who was up at the front of the field at Daytona. He is moving his way up towards the front. He comes into this thing 13th in the points. Daytona was his only top 5 and top 10 on the year so far. He's looking to change that here today. Meanwhile, Donovan Cage moving backwards. So was Carter Friesen, but Friesen gets it back to the inside line. Friesen will look to move his way up through the field. Christian Vargas in the O2 truck failed to qualify for the Digital Storm Cup race. This is also the team that won the first Texas race back in 2017 with Edwin Mendez.
Everyone's just single filing out here. It's starting to feel like the draft is going to lessen here in a couple laps with the tire fall off already 2-3 tenths. That's key. Once that tire fall off hits the cliff, everyone's kind of stuck till pit stops. For now, we got some more room, which is nice.
Looking at Logan York driving the 33 again this week. He won his championship in 2019. The finale was here at Texas in 2019 as well. He finished second in that race. As you see Ellison trying to make his way forward on the bottom. Vince, we mentioned he missed the cone here in the finale last year as a Final Four championship driver. That cost him his shot at the title. And, you know, Ellison coming off a second-place finish at Miller Motorsports Park, trying not to make any mistakes here again. As Ellison comes into this race, third in the points, 12 points behind Anderson. He's one of our favorites to win the championship. Let's not forget that. He's at the front of the field. It's still Amanda Evans in the lead. So that 77 Evans Gardner Motorsports team trying to go back-to-back again. This time in the Truck Series. But Ream just kind of sticking with him. This is Ream's second year in the Jerky Pro Truck Series, and pretty good run for him here so far today.
Yeah, Ream's sticking with it right now. I think it really is a situation like last week where it's another truck chasing the 77 on that second run. And last week in case of Ellison, this week it's the first run. Ream trying to chase down Evans and see where she's better at and where she's worse at on this track. There's not many rooms. You see Anderson looking to make this a little numerology at the front, double numbers.
And Anderson's also in his second year, but ooh, he had to check up there in the turn 3. So perhaps the top side a little better here this year as Jonathan Wong holds on to third. But Baranowskis right there in 5th, so making that peak for 4th now on Anderson. Deanna Jones 6th, Friesen 7th, Ellison up to 8th. As Benjamin Ice and Patrick Smith fight it out for 9th. We've got Zach Rogers just outside the top 10. He's another one of our favorites for the championship. He got his first top 5 last race at Miller Motorsports Park. He is currently 7th in the points, 34 points behind the points leader. As
Yeah,
there's
Rogers always. Yep.
There's Nate Rogers making his way up from the back. Already into the top 20. Make it the top 15, Vince. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rogers. He's been definitely on a roll after last week, and ironically, he was battling Downey, if I remember, at third for that last race. But you can go back to your next spotlight driver.
As Donovan Cage just can't seem to get anything going here so far today. You see Derek Hamill, Lucas Catano, Laura Chung, our Daytona winner, Daniel Bouchard. Continue going through the field. There's Gatlin Downey coming into this race second in the points. Downey's got 2 top 5s in 3 races. Right now, struggling here at Texas. How about Yael Carrillo? Another sophomore driver having struggles here today. Henry Sanford has not been able to get anything going so far this year. He comes into this thing 36th in the points. As there's the 77's teammate of Colton Schwartz. Just got inside the top 30. Sam Young, Delon Ibrahimian, Colt Hudson all having problems here today. So at the back, you've got the 47 of Logan Williams and the 12 of Vince Freeze. And then, of course, Enzo Nereza, who is a lap down. Jonathan Wong has made it up to 2nd place, put Bradley Ream back to 5th place.
Seems like Wong, he definitely is looking. As you can see, Baranowski on the inside, just no momentum. Anderson, a big run here at the top. Let's see what he does with it.
Fall off has reached the 2nd, and yeah, Anderson with a huge run. Does he go to the bottom or does he stay to the top? It looks like he's going to stay to the top. Oh, he's got a file in line right there in the bottom, right at the entry of turn 3. Looks like the veterans are coming alive here with the tire wear, Vince.
Veterans in the double numbers. We got 77, 8, 11, 99. Well, there's Ellison. He's coming back. You know, he's a threat every week in this truck series.
They're really starting to draft up to the back of Amanda Evans now after they got by Bradley Ream a few laps ago. As Ellison's making a move on Nana Jones for 6th place. So Friesen lost the lead from the pole, fell back a bit, and now he's starting to make his way back forward. So he's going to look for 7th now on Deanna Jones. How about Patrick Smith and Benjamin Ice, the last 2 drivers inside the top 10? Benjamin Ice ran part-time in 2019, so he's not a full-blooded sophomore driver, but he essentially is in his 2nd full-time season. Same with Patrick Smith, who ran a single year of trucks back in 2019. As they're going to look to try and stay inside the top 10 over 3-year Digital Storm Cup veteran Zach Rogers. RJ Bishop losing spots now. Big time there through the dog legs on the front stretch. RJ's in his 3rd, or rather his 4th full-time season in the Jerky Pro Truck Series, running his first full-time year of Digital Storm Cup this year, and he actually qualified into the race at Texas this weekend. However, Christian Vargas did not. Other drivers include Stephen Colon, Derek Hamill, Will Parrish, and Laura Chung, drivers that run Jerky Pro, that did not qualify for the Digital Storm Cup race. As instead of Patrick Smith or Benjamin Ice, it looks like it's going to be Deanna Jones who might fall out of the top 10. As we have a new leader. Jonathan Wong has taken it away from Amanda Evans.
Maybe that was not the fastest truck out front. Evans wasn't the fastest. Let's see what Wong can do to pull away. Zach, here we go. Once we hit lap 20, we're in the 2/3 of the way through the fuel window and tire fall off. As you can see, it's about 1.5 seconds almost.
Every year we go, you know, these tracks, you know, they hit that wear and tear, and tire wear, you know, starts to create a little more loss to grip.
They don't let the fresh pavement fool you guys. It's the tire fall off is real here. As you see, Baranowski is peaking for 3rd, but I think Anderson should have the top run. No, maybe the draft might come into play. Let's see. There's a draft.
And Anderson will lose at least 3rd. Maybe back. He's fighting back on the top here. And
You gotta
Anderson
think, Zach.
will... Nope, go ahead, Vince.
You gotta think, Zach. With these 6, 7 trucks fighting at the front here, is there any fuel saving? Is there any tire conservation? Is someone going to go 33 laps? Because now that I think about 32 is on the cusp of a splash and dash at the end. This could be a fuel mileage race. We haven't seen that in a little bit. We'll see.
Deanna Jones losing even more positions now. She's down to outside the top 15. Once you get stuck on the top side in the quad oval, Vince, you know, there's just no grip up there. And you just start losing position after position. How about Nate Rogers? You know, we mentioned earlier he started, I think, outside the top 30. And he has worked his way up to 11th. It's Nate's second race on the season. Him and Nico Tringali split in time in the 9. Tringali actually went for a barrel roll at Miller Motorsports Park. But in Nate's one race on the year, he finished 20th. That was at, I believe, Auto Club. Or no, that was at Daytona he finished 20th. Auto Club was Tringali. Fastest lap on the race goes to the 39 of Zach Rogers, a 30.222. As right now he's stuck behind Benjamin Ice and Patrick Smith. As Ice will make a move on Smith for 8th place.
Looks to be mechanical grip being a big factor today. You see, look at nowhere to go. My God, 37 Smith, he was just out to lunch right there in turns 1 and 2. I think it's the top 7. Yeah.
You're able to throw it in there a little harder on the top, it looks like, though, Vince, in turn 1.
Yeah, turn 1 you are, but it just seems like on the straights, you see he tries to attempt to cross over, but will stick in line. It seems like you're at the lunches. There goes Rogers on Rogers, little Rogers on Rogers action. That's nice to say.
Oh, man, and Zach had worked his way up so much. Nate's going to take away 9th place, and now Patrick Smith basically gets back the position he lost a lap ago. Now, luckily, with the tire fall off here, the field is really spread out. So Zach shouldn't lose a ton of positions here, but everything he had worked to gain is about to fly out the window. As Ellison has made it up to 4th place, as Jonathan Wong has maintained this about 5 truck length gap over Amanda Evans, and nobody else has been able to get by her. Fall off has reached 2 seconds, Vince.
This is all about setting yourself up for that maybe one and only pit stop. You see Amanda Evans on the outside, Baranowski's looking to peak on the inside. I noticed that at the exit of turn 4, the checkup is real on the outside. You saw that with Rogers. Have to watch that later in the race as these tires begin to age on the second run.
So you're really starting to split up here at the front of the field, too. See Bradley Ream peeking to the outside of Max Anderson. But it's a top 7 breakaway right now. Nate Rogers up to 8th. Might try and close the gap here. He is closing the gap. So Ice 9th, Patrick Smith 10th, as Zach Rogers falls in line in 13th. Right now, our rookie of the day is Christian Vargas here in 11th. As I'd say, our surprise of the day has been Bradley Ream running in 6th place.
He's positioned nicely. He's got I guess you could say, a pseudo teammate behind him in a way. Should be an interesting first pit stop. There's DC Ellison peaking. Looks like he's trying, but I don't think he has enough momentum on the inside.
And just remember, you know, rookie Cole Baker last year won 2 races in this 11 truck, so Bradley Ream maybe, man, he might try and get some wins going as Baranowskis will finally make the move on Amanda Evans in turn 3. Now we'll see here, can this group of trucks get by the 77? Not too much of a checkup there, but Baranowskis, Ellison, and at least it looks like Anderson will all take a position. And just think, Amanda is not in it for the championship. These 3 drivers are. They're at the top of the standings right now. They're all racing each other here, especially with the way we hand out points now this year. With, you know, all those jumps in the points in the top 5 and the top 10, Vince.
Yeah, realistically, Zach, it's all about that top 5. And when you got all these regulars, these truck regulars in the field, a podium is almost like a win. Gotta watch that as the season goes on, as the leechers come in. But man, Wong, he has pulled out to almost a 6.5 tenth gap here. You just wonder that clean air. That clean air in Texas seems to be the biggest thing that people have to wonder in the second stop. You see Enzo's back out there in the back of the field.
Well, we're right in the pit window, so I want to go through the field really quick here. Indiana Jones has lost a ton of track position.
Here we go.
And no one's pitting. We're in the window, but no one is pitting, so that makes me think, Vince, that they're all going to go for the one stop if they can get it.
They get to the next lap, I think it's guaranteed they're going to go to one stop, because usually trucks like to do the overcut, and that's will be the gap delta of 34 laps. We'll see.
Fall off's up to, yeah, fall off's up to 3 seconds now.
Looking low.
See, no one's going to pit here coming to 33. RJ Bishop has made it up to 10th place. Zach Rogers in 11th, Logan York 12th. As Vargas now loses spots, it looks like Patrick Smith lost a few more before. Man, Deanna Jones fell all the way down to 29th from being in the top 10 earlier. All right, so I'd say we're officially at the window here, Vince, because if you can make it 33, you can make it 34.
Anybody work. Here we go. Here we go.
Yep, Jonathan Wong's going to pit. Baranauskas and Ellison are going to stay out. Same with Amanda Evans. So put Jonathan Wong, Max Anderson, Bradley Ream, and Benjamin Ice as our undercutters. And I'd say that if you don't pit here, it's really not worth staying out another lap.
I think got some more coming in right here.
Yep, here we go. Ellison, no pit road entrance problems this year. Nate Rogers is going to close up a ton. Ooh, more drivers staying out. Oh, no!
There it is. Oh, watch out. Oh.
Jack James and Mitchell Collins. Oh, and Jack James. Oh, man. That is a tough break. But he almost started reversing back up in the traffic, but he didn't. You know, smart move by him not doing that. So Logan York, Christian Vargas, Laura Chung, Josiah Robinson, Derek Hamill, Owen Miles, and Roy Ribbleton all stayed out another lap. But Jack James and Mitchell Collins completely missed the cone. We thought we were going to get through it this year without someone missing it, Vince, but we were wrong. Jack James ended up towing, and Mitchell Collins, I believe, is getting held 30 seconds.
Ironically, Zach, they hit Ellison on the way in a little bit. That's ironic.
No, I think he missed him. I think he saw Ellison at the last second, and he missed him. But if Collins had nailed Ellison there, that could have been very... We would have commentators cursed Ellison right there if that had happened.
Yeah, we'll have to look at a replay to really see what that really happened. But it seems like Jonathan Wong with that undercut strategy could be gapping big here.
Right now it's him and Anderson first and second. Carrillo is a lap down, I believe. Yes, indeed. Benjamin Ice third.
Wow.
And then Baranauskas the first of the overcutters.
Happened to Carter Friesen.
Nate Rogers right there with her. Bradley Ream, Brad Lewis undercut. Joshua Teppensaw, I believe, undercut. There's Amanda Evans. There's Ellison. Ellison lost a ton of time on pit road. RJ Bishop. Zach Rogers. Vince Freeze gained a ton of time up to 17th. Patrick Smith lost a ton of time down to 21st. Vargas 22nd. Cage 24th. And now, who was our first driver that stayed out the longest there, Vince? Because I already forgot.
The longest who stayed out?
I believe it was Logan York, wasn't it?
Logan York. Logan York, I believe, was the longest. It was one of the first ones. I know Ribbleton was the last one. So that group was the last one. All
right, so Wong has a 3.4 second gap over Baranauskas. and a 10-second gap over Logan York. So realistically, I would have to say that Baranauskas might have the best shot at winning this thing on strategy alone.
Logan York has a good shot, though, at top 10. I don't think we can discredit that, but not a win for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a little commentator action right there. Wink, wink.
Ah, yes, indeed. How about Stephen Colon, though, making up for the not qualifying for Digital Storm this week? He's running in 15th. Colton Schwartz was at the back earlier, 14th. There's a hornet's nest right here. You know, Tevin saw on the undercut. That's holding up Gatlin Downey as Ellison has made it back inside the top 10. And how about Henry Sanford? Sanford was at the back earlier, too. I'm not sure if he undercut or what, but he is up inside the top 10 right now. Looking for his first good finish of the year.
Hey, look at that. It's 2.5 for Baron. I think Baranowski is going to mow down the leader. I think those fresher tires at the end of the run could be crucial.
About Brad Lewis up to 7th. Ice cracked the top 5 from his strategy. As Jack James coming off a pit road. Just think, Jack James has about 5-lap fresher tires to Jonathan Wong. He is going to be flying, and he could impact this race even if he's not going for the win. He's coming out here right near the leaders. You know, I think he's going to catch him, and it's going to impact this finish.
He's going to be flying, and he's going to be mad. That's a very dangerous combo.
Nate Rogers will get by Yael Correa. We have forgotten to talk about the 9, Vince. He has passed Baranauskas for the top driver on the second group. Man, it seems like even if you qualify it bad in Jerky Pro, if you're a Digital Storm Cup driver and you've got that experience, you can just work your way to the front pretty easily. There's Mitchell Collins. Remember, he got held too, so he's on fresher tires compared to Jonathan Wong.
It's helping the second pack, too, of Anderson. They got that sniff of the draft. That's good.
Collins looking to get his lap back. We can't quite get it done there. Jonathan Wong going to hold on for now. But that's letting Anderson and others close up. Baranauskas has to get by Carrillo here if she wants a shot at challenging Nate Rogers. But the top 6 is pretty much gone. Nate Rogers making the move on Anderson, Baranauskas on Carrillo, and Collins on Wong. And the only one of those for position is the 88 and the 9. Oh, and Mitchell Collins is going to set up Nate Rogers' move on Jonathan Wong here if Wong can't get back to the bottom. Here comes Digital Storm Cup Series driver Nate Rogers looking for the race lead. Nate's got 1 career Jerky Pro win to his name. Believe it came at Bristol Dirt either last year or in 2019. My memory is correct. So he's looking for career win number 2. So is Baranauskas is looking for career win number 5. You've got Jonathan Wong, who was looking for career win number 2 as well, but I don't think he's got anything left here now with the tire disadvantage. And Max Anderson looking for career win number 1. If we look at the rest of our top 10, Vince, Benjamin Ice, Bradley Ream, you know, they've got a huge gap over 7th place to James Ellison. You know, just something with pit stops. Really hurt Ellison on pit road. But he's looking at another good top 10 run here today.
That's all that matters, I think, for Ellison. The second last week in Miller, or 2 weeks ago in Miller, excuse me, and now this. I think they'll be happy with that 48 team as they build up a consistency as we get closer towards the mid-race season. And we also have some different varieties of track on the schedule now that we got all these things separated. We have not seen a short track yet or a dirt race. That'll be fun and interesting.
And just think, Jerky Pro Truck Series is, pretty stagnated to start the year. 3-week gap from Daytona to Auto Club. Went right back at it at Miller Motorsports Park the next week. Then another 3-week gap from MMP to today. But after today, you're going to see a race every weekend until after the June 11th race at Michigan, which is the 13th race on the season. So get ready to see a lot of Jerky Pro action in the coming weeks. These guys will start getting into their grooves for sure.
I think after June 3rd, the race in Michigan, there's only 8 races left. This is it. This is the stretch right from Texas to Michigan. I won't say it's a tournament championship, but if you're not within range, you're probably going to lose it, considering how consistency is. And for the rookies, that Rookie of the Year battle, we can't forget that. Should be interesting as well, with a variety of rookies being top rookie every week.
Yeah, just to excuse me, give you an idea of that, as Baranowskis is looking to pass Mitchell Collins. Excuse me, jeez. After Michigan, 2-week gap to Talladega. Then a 3-week gap to Pukekohe. A whole month will go by until we come back racing at Oswego for a dirt race. Excuse me, jeez. After Oswego, we get another 2-week gap to Bristol Dirt, another 2-week gap to Atlanta, 2-week gap to Papyrus, Memphis right after Papyrus a week later, and then another 3-week gap until we end the season at Chicagoland. So it just shows you, Vince, right now, this is the start of the big stretch.
This is the stretch, yeah. This is the super stretch, I guess you could say, to use a term.
Right now, the question here with 16 laps to go is, does Baranowskis have anything for Nate Rogers? As here comes Jack James on his 7-lap fresher tires.
It's either Baranowskis will pass straight up or Jack James plays spoiler, I would feel. Mitchell Collins doesn't seem to have the pace. It's down to Rogers versus Baranowskis. But what will Jack James do?
Jonathan Wong holding his own in third. Max Anderson has been unable to close the gap from fourth. Benjamin Ice still fifth. Ream sixth. As Ellison, Henry Sanford, and Amanda Evans have been slowly closing the gap. Well, they were. Not anymore. But Ellison 7th, Henry Sanford 8th, Amanda Evans 9th, and RJ Bishop rounds out the top 10. As it looks like fighting for that final top 10 spot will come down to Bishop, Schwartz, York, Downey, and Brad Lewis. Now, with Logan York in that group, I'd say Logan York's probably going to get it. Oh, and Mitchell Collins makes the move to the inside of Baranowskis as Jack James is going to pass Nate Rogers. Vince, that might do it. I know it's still 10-plus laps to go, but
we'll see. I mean, does Mitchell Collins get up in this fight? Does he? He
oh, they
off.
both. They both got down.
Gap should close up or at least stabilize right here. Let's see the next lap because they're both. Oh yeah, they actually closed up just a bit. 400s. Let's be close. I don't think it's over yet, Zach. Too early to call because we don't know what Mitchell Collins is going to do, and I think Jack James should be able to pull away from these guys.
Logan York just cracked his head inside the top 10. So if you're Ellison, Henry Sanford, or Amanda Evans, get ready to have your position under challenge because he's got the best tires on the track. Let's go through the field one last time. RJ Bishop 11th, racing for 12th, Downey and Schwartz. Brad Lewis 14th, Zach Rogers up to 15th. Stephen Colon, Laura Chung, Daniel Bouchard, Joshua Teppensaw, Vince Freeze down to 20th. Patrick Smith, Christian Vargas, Owen Miles. Lucas Catano, Donovan Cage, bad day today, 25th. Starting position, not really showing that truck speed. Nicholas Jawit, 26th. Sam Young, Dylan Ibrahimium. Zachary DeLello. Derek Hamill, 30th. Colt Hudson, 31st. Josiah Robinson. Roy Ribbleton. Will Parrish. Deanna Jones, man, she was up in the top 10, top 5 earlier, down to 35th now. Logan Williams. Enzo Nereza with the problem on the grid. Carter Friedson fell all the way down here to 37th. Gene Sanford 38th. Jack James missing the commitment line. He's in 42nd. That's where he'll finish. And that gives you back to the leader of Nate Rogers, who is starting to pull away from Baranowskis.
Yeah, I think just Nate Rogers on the longer run seems to have the pace more than Baranowskis. I know Baranowskis will have to fight harder, and that could use up the tires more. And degradation is key around Texas. I think saving that extra 2-3 tenths towards the end of the run, that's going to pay off.
Well, Vince, right now it looks like Logan York's forward momentum has stabilized because he is by himself without draft, as we're going to hit 9 to go this time by. So everyone's just kind of in their own lane right now. But there you see Logan York. Let's see what he gets here on Amanda Evans, who's in draft. 32.341, 32.140. So still kind of closing in on other drivers, but not as much as the leader. But Logan York isn't racing for a championship down here either, so, this is more so just about getting that 33 team a good run. It's him and Charles Sanford all year long.
Also understand the tires for tomorrow's Cup race to understand where the trends are. Even though they're a different package, you can still get some identities from this truck race and pass over along as your crew chief for tomorrow.
And tomorrow's race is 101 laps, and the last time we had a 101 lap race go green flag from start to finish was 2018, and that was where only 6 cars finished on the lead lap because several drivers were able to stretch it on a 2-stop strategy. And one of those drivers was 12-time career Digital Storm Cup Series winner Andrew Rich, who at the time was just getting his 2nd career victory. So you can strategize your way to a win here at this racetrack. And, today I think we were expecting some drivers to not be able to make it on a 1-stop, but it looks like everybody was planning for the 1-stop from the get-go.
Seems like Osher's closing in Zach a little, but not too much. It seems like by mere hundredths of a second, both ways they're flip-flopping.
She's just kind of holding the distance as Jonathan Wong's tire wear has really started to kick in. He's fallen now to 2.5 seconds behind Nate Rogers. Max Anderson 4 seconds back. As it looks like Benjamin Ice and Bradley Ream could be caught by the Ellison, Henry Sanford, Amanda Evans group, which is also being caught by Logan York. So don't look now, but Logan York might get a top 5 right at the very end of this.
End of the run. Long run pace. We talked about that in the pre-race show. Definitely paying off. As you see, Baranowskis closes the gap under 600s, but is that a fool's gap, as I like to say? Is it just playing with the throttle, saving some tires at the end? We'll see. Baranowskis is definitely going harder right now than Rogers.
Well, she's got Mitchell Collins right behind her, so that's giving her a little push draft. So she's definitely in a good position here, but if she drafts up to Nate Rogers, I feel like you got to make the move in turn 3 because the bottom, you just can't get it to stick really at this point in the run when there's someone to your outside. Jonathan Wong now 3 seconds behind Nate Rogers as Baranowskis closes another 300ths.
Baranowskis, you can see going a little lower than Rogers in turn 1, looking for some clean air to try to set up a run for 3 and 4. But right now, it seems like it's no dice. As Rogers goes a little higher, though.
And they gave him a little bit of a better run off of turn 4. 3 laps to go here at Texas. James Ellison has caught Bradley Ream for 6th as Logan York has caught Amanda Evans for 9th.
Got to remember, Zach, last race, this 9, not so much Rogers, but Tringali was upside down on the freeze flip counters. There you see Ream and Ellison battling.
Woo!
Shoves it in there, James.
James is looking for what would be another 2 points on his season championship, and he'll take them. Move Ellison up to P6 because he knows Logan York's right here. With 2 laps to go, Logan York could get even more spots. And if Max Anderson has been caught too, could Ellison get up to 4th place here at the very end? That would be huge championship points for him.
He's trying. He's a little push draft there. But as we're going to hit the white flag, let's not miss the finish this time as we'll go back up to the leader.
And Baranowskis has just not been able to close the gap, and it looks like she's actually starting to lose it. That's a whole 1/10 of a second that time by.
Nate Rogers, man. What a day for him as we enter turn 1 and 2, and now we exit turn 1 and 2. From last week, or a couple weeks ago, that 9 truck flipping upside down to a possible win at Texas. They enter 3 and 4.
And just think, Vince, there are only 3 teams that have Cup Series drivers split in time this year. The 33 won at Auto Club, the 77 won at Miller Motorsports Park, and today, the 9 of Nate Rogers will win at Texas. 3 races in a row. The Digital Storm Cup Series driver has won in the Jerky Pro Truck Series.
Only one who was different was Laura Chung, the rookie at Daytona. That was it.
Throat's been acting up a little bit in this race. Baranowskis will get a nice second place finish. Jonathan Wong third, Max Anderson fourth. Ellison got up to fifth there on ice right at the end. And look at that, Bradley Ream by a nose on ice for sixth. Henry Sanford seventh, Amanda Evans eighth, and Logan York didn't get by anybody. He ends up the day in 10th. Looking at some of our other favorites. Gatlin Downey 11th, Zach Rogers 12th, RJ Bishop 14th. There's Laura Chung in 17th. Sam Young 19th, Donovan Cage 21st, Colt Hudson 26th. Deanna Jones 36th, and Carter Friesen 37th from the pole. Let's see just real quick. Where did the 9 start, Vince? 31st. Wow.
Yeah, Dave, you mentioned it.
You look at the queue times and you can see everyone was pretty close, but I mean, to drive up from 31st is just incredible, even for a Cup driver. Well, that'll do it for us here in the Jerky Pro Truck Series race. We will see you guys next week for Rockingham, which Digital Storm is not going to. It's one of those few tracks on the Jerky Pro schedule where they're at different tracks for the weekend. And tomorrow we will see you guys at this track again for the Digital Storm Cup Series race, and what will hopefully be another clean and green strategy race. Vince and I will see you then.
Signing off.